The three men charged in the disappearance of Crystal Rogers. It's scheduled for February 10th of next year. Yesterday, all three suspects were in court together for the very first time, and prosecutors want to try Brooks Houck, Stephen Lawson, and his son Joseph Lawson together. At least one defense attorney says he plans to file an objection to that. WHAS11's Shay McAllister has been following this case very closely from the beginning and was in the courtroom for those hearings.
If the prosecutor has it his way, trial will begin 1 year from now, almost to the day. But so much of that depends on evidence. The prosecutor revealing today he has handed over more than a terabyte worth of evidence in this case, coming from the Kentucky State Police, the Nelson County Sheriff's Office, and the FBI.
All rise.
One by one, the men accused of killing Crystal Rogers filed into the courtroom. Joseph Lawson was wheeled in first, followed by his father, Steve Lawson. And then in black and white stripes with cuffs on his wrists, Crystal's former boyfriend, Brooks Houck, took his seat. It was a surprise for all three men to be brought in together, but perhaps a sign of what's to come.
So you're going to be filing a motion to try all three cases together, as I take it. And then
the prosecutor indicating he hopes to try all three men together in one trial more than a year from now. Jason Ellis and Tommy Ballard mentioned as part of the case file that was initially handed over to the prosecutor, but still no arrests in either of those cases, something a friend of the Ballards thinks will soon change.
This is not the only three that's had something to do with it. I'd bet everywhere I got in my pocket that there's more out there that had something to do with this.
Back in the courtroom, attorneys for Joseph Lawson were fighting for a lower bond, saying their client isn't a danger to the public.
It's obvious the court conceives that he is paraplegic. That's just a fact that exists.
But the Commonwealth fought back, pointing to his criminal history, alleged involvement in Crystal's death, and actions after he found out detectives were eyeing him.
Once he found out that he was a subject, a target of what happened to this young woman, he called around or texted around to associates, to friends of his, to cover for him, to give him an alibi that night of July the 3rd when she's missing.
The judge plans to rule on bond by the beginning of next week. And 20 minutes after it started, the defendants left the doors they came in, heading back to the jail cells, where they will wait for the next development in Bardstown's greatest mystery. Joseph Lawson and Steve Lawson, father and son, saw each other for the first time. We're told no words were exchanged. The next court date in this case has been set for mid-March. In Nelson County, I'm Shay McAllister, WHAS 11 on your side.
So we took this one step further and talked to a defense attorney and former Jefferson County prosecutor. His name is Nick Munn, just to get some perspective on this. He says there is a benefit to trying all three defendants together.
You don't want to have witnesses get on the stand 3 different times. What happens? They may say possibly 3 different things, not intentionally, but things happen. But that being said, you're going to have a witness is going to testify, and you're going to have a prosecutor, then 3 sets of attorneys asking questions. So if there is a trial and it doesn't get severed, we're in for a long trial.
But also told us there's a possibility the trial date could change as attorneys in the case filed their motions. Our digital team expanded this even further and provided live minute-by-minute coverage of yesterday's court hearings. You can see that and stay up to date on this case just by downloading the free WHAS 11 app. A bill that would change the way teenagers in Kentucky are prosecuted for certain crimes is moving forward. A Senate committee approved the proposal that would prosecute teenagers as adults if they are charged with felonies that involve guns. This would reverse a 2021 law that ended the automatic transfer from juvenile to adult court in some cases. Senator Matthew Deenan from Elizabethtown said that move needs to be made to address youth crime across Kentucky.
It is our responsibility, I believe, to draw a line in the sand and to say for these types of crimes, these adult crimes, that the punishment should be fitting of the crime.
Republican Senator Whitney Westerfield helped pass that 2021 law this bill would reverse. He argued that an automatic transfer still takes away a judge's discretion.
You have robbed the prosecution and the court of weighing the factors that have been in statute since long before I got here. In fact, long before I was practicing law. The seriousness of the offense, whether it was against property, with or a person with greater weight being given to offenses against people, the maturity of the child as determined by their environment, their prior record.
That bill now heads to the full Senate for consideration. 6:07 now, and a big congratulations to this year's NFL MVP, Baltimore Ravens quarterback and former Cardinal Lamar Jackson. According to ESPN, he got 49 out of 50 first-place votes for that award. At age 27, he is the youngest person to win that award for the second time. Now, this past season, Jackson set career highs for passing yards and completion percentage. He also signed a 5-year contract with the Ravens. That contract is worth $260 million, which he had a bit of fun joking about in last night's ceremony.
I want to thank my organization, Baltimore Ravens, for, finally getting this deal done. Shout out to Eric, shout out to Steve, Coach Harbaugh, the whole unit. My offense, man, my offensive line, man, I can't thank them enough.
Jackson is now just the 11th football player to win NFL MVP multiple times. He joins the ranks of names like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes. Now, also on that list is former Cardinal Johnny Unitas, who was named the NFL's most valuable player in 1959, 1964, and again in 1967. Louisville is now the only program in college football history to produce more than one multi-time MVP award winner.